I just got done watching the Sonic movie 3 and wow, it is everything I was hoping for and more. And if you're watching this video, you're probably debating on seeing the movie for yourself, but you want to know if it's good first. Or maybe you've already seen it and just want to see what other people think, which is totally valid. This video will be split into two parts, the first being my spoiler-free review, just because it would be kind of a dick move to spoil the movie at the start of a video. So I'll make sure to put a clear spoiler warning when we get there. And the second part of the video will be my spoiler review. So before we start, please subscribe if you're new because I would love to make YouTube my job one day and I appreciate the support, so let's go. So this is going to be tough to talk about without spoiling, but I will do my best. This movie is so good. If you've seen at least one of the first two, you will probably love this film. It does everything except way better, like infinitely times better. First off, the action is top notch. This film easily has some of the best action, jokes, music, and just everything. Almost everything about this film is better than the first two. Even if you don't like the movies, I think if you're a fan of the games, you'll probably end up liking this one. Like, this has to be my favorite movie of the year, and there's been plenty of good movies like The Wild Robot and Deadpool and Wolverine, but I can't really hold in the spoilers any longer, so here's your spoiler warning. Click off the video if you have not seen Sonic 3 and come back once you do, or stay if you don't care about spoilers. Okay, anyone still here? Good, now let's get into the spoiler review. This movie was almost perfect. I mean, the fact I only have 3 full complaints is really good, which I'm going to talk about them first since people love hearing about the negatives. My first complaint is that they didn't shoot Maria. Like, I saw this movie with friends and we were planning on cheering when she got shot. Yes, we're those kind of people. And instead she died in an explosion. Even though it was still caused by Gong, it still doesn't have the same impact as a 360 no-scope to the head. I also wish we got to see more Gerald and Maria since the only scene they actually all in together was the one where she dies. And my final complaint is with director Rockwell. She kind of takes General Olive Golden's place in this film since director Olive Golden either dies or gets injured early on. And she had good motivation to go after Team Sonic since she assumed probably that Team Sonic did it, but it's never explicitly said. Like, when Sonic was captured, if she would have laid all of that out on Sonic and then like later on would have switched up when Tom almost died, that would have been a great character role. Even though she has a very tiny part in the film, it still would have been nice. Also, the Bio-Lizard doesn't make an appearance outside the small cameo, but I'm not really complaining, since I don't know if they would have had good execution for it. Besides for all these small complaints, the movie is great. There was one shot in the trailer that was edited, and it's one of Sonic and Shadow fighting near lava, and when I saw it was actually Super Shadow versus Super Sonic, I got so excited. And then when Liv and Lil started playing while they were fighting, it was just so good. Like, the Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight is easily the best fight scene in any video game movie, and I don't think that's even up for debate. Like, bro, it's just so good. The character arcs in this movie were also good, but that could be because they chose to focus on a very small amount of them. Because instead of everyone getting a character arc, the main arcs were Shadow, Sonic, and Dr. Eggman, and all of them were really good. Tails and Knuckles didn't have an arc, but they helped enhance Sonic's arc a bit to make it be even better. And also, I really like their dynamic as a team. Like, you can tell that they're a team, they're working together, and you can see that they're also pretty much like family. Speaking of dynamics, Gerald and Eggman's dynamic in this film were really fun. Like, seeing all of the scenes of just Gerald and Eggman were really funny. Like, start to end, I just had a great time watching them. And it was really funny seeing Agent Stone start to feel jealous for Eggman. And for those of you who ship Robotnik and Agent Stone, you guys will love the parts of this movie. Like, even as someone who doesn't like the idea of shipping characters, I'm definitely now like leaning towards, yeah, they're probably gay. Like, it's almost undeniable. Then gang, is it gay to give a homies a kiss, good guy? They reference Sonic Adventure 2 so much. Like, if you've played the game, you'll know because the amount of references are so cool. They also had my goat in the movie, the greatest character in the whole Sonic franchise, games and movies, Wade Whipple. Yes, Wade makes a small appearance for the 2 people that actually care. Unfortunately, the Sonic movies always end up killing Eggman, and unfortunately, they did it again. The way they killed Gerald was absolutely hilarious, and it actually makes sense with Eggman's character. But then they had Eggman do a self-sacrifice moment and Shadow helped him. But I feel like the sacrifice got undermined by the fact that in the second post-credit scene it teased that Shadow was alive. Like, I wish they would have waited like a movie or two to kind of reveal that he was alive, but it is what it is. I'm unsure if he'll return in Sonic 4 or if he'll end up being in his own movie or TV show. But speaking of post-credit scenes, I really want to talk about the first post-credit scene, which is a big one. Like, if you left the theater and didn't know about it, you definitely missed out. So the movie ends with Sonic and friends racing each other into the sunset, kind of like how Spider-Man movies usually end with one final swing. But Sonic overshot it and ran to New York when he realizes someone tried taking a shot at him, and thankfully they missed because, like, how can you not miss if it's Sonic? And Sonic even says, if you take a shot at the fastest living being, you better not miss. And the person who took the shot was revealed to be Metal Sonic. Like, holy shit, they got my actual goat. Metal Sonic was my favorite Sonic character when I was 5, and still is in my top 3. Either way, Metal Sonic misses, which I've already said, but then more Metal Sonics show up. Like, there was just an army of them, and that kind of creates a huge mystery of who created them. Like, who ended up creating Metal Sonic? Like, not just one Metal Sonic, but like a whole army of Metal Sonic. And since Eggman's dead, like, I don't think it could be him, since I don't know. I'm guessing they probably did kill him off for real this time. Though I could see Jim Carrey maybe coming back, like maybe Shadow teleported Eggman away, like last second. Which I could see them doing that, I'm not sure, but maybe. But I'm kind of curious of what a movie would be like without Eggman. Like, obviously it would be missing a whole lot of humor, since a lot of the humor does come from Jim Carrey himself, but we'll just have to end up waiting to see. Either way, Sonic gets surrounded by the army of Metal Sonics when a hammer gets thrown by a mysterious person in legs, and if you know the only Sonic character to use a hammer as a weapon, you would know that's Amy. And Amy takes off like a hood, revealing that it's her, before it ends up like cutting to black. Like, it looked like she knew what she was doing when fighting the Metal Sonics, which either means she's fought Metal Sonics before, or that she's just good at fighting. Either way, I hope they give her like game personality, or at least her Sonic Boom personality, since I think she was done really well in Sonic Boom. So we kinda know how the Sonic movie 4 is going to start, so let me know if I should do a video predicting the Sonic movie 4. But also, Metal Sonic's design is perfect. It's exact to the games, except even better. Like, I think his design is perfect. Crazy thinking that 5 years ago we went from this abomination to having great character designs for everyone. Like, it's crazy that all of that happened because Fags got mad at the original design. But also, it's kind of funny how we still don't know anything about Amy besides that she knows how to fight, because we don't get to really see anything of her personality or even hear her voice. So it's definitely interesting to see like where the films can go. My final thoughts on this movie is that it's really good. I'm glad I only had 3 to 4 complaints, and that they weren't even that bad. And I'm glad that the Sonic movie 3 wasn't bad, since it was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Like, I'm glad that we had a really good video game movie this year after this shit. Like, if you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend it. It is easily the best video game movie of all time. I don't know how the Mario movie 2 can compete. Actually, I don't know how any video game movie can compete. I do have some complaints though, so I'll give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. And that's my review. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and go watch this video that YouTube thinks you would like. Hopefully it's not my Sonic 3 predictions video, because that ended up being completely long.